Welcome. This is the first episode of Tips and Tricks of the TeachMizgi YouTube channel. I'm your host Bernadette, and if you are new here, this channel gives you resources, exercises, and as the name suggests, tips and tricks on how to learn and teach faster, better, more efficiently, what you can do to accelerate your learning process, how you can help your students to learn better, study tips, memorizing tips, how to practice vocabulary, all that juicy stuff. If you want to learn by yourself, if you're a teacher, if you teach in classroom or digitally, if you are in e-learning, this channel is going to give you resources. So in this tips and tricks section, you are going to hear, as the name suggests, tips and tricks that can help you accelerate, learn better, faster, more efficiently, and teaching practices, how to teach more efficiently, to help your students. Today's topic is the question of why invest in learning a new language, especially in uncertain times such as this one. Why invest time and energy? We are in March 2021 and we can all agree that these are very uncertain times globally. I'm going to give you 5 plus 1 bonus reasons why you should consider starting to learn a new language. Work. If you're a grown up, if you're an adult, chances are you have been working, you are working, you worked, you are going to work, etc. Usually adults feel the need or they start to learn a new language for 3 reasons. They need to keep their jobs, they need to advance in their jobs, they want to advance in their jobs, in their careers, or they are looking for a new job. It's going to help them find a new job, sometimes even in new positions. These are the 3 reasons why adults start to learn a new language. The second reason is travel and tourism. Yes, in 2020 and in 2021, this is not the most appealing reason. Traveling is almost non-existent with very few exceptions. There's still some tourism or traveling, but it's very limited. But we can all hope, and I think we can be sure, almost sure about this, that it's not going to last forever, right? One day people will again start to travel. People want to travel. People want to go to new places. They want to visit new places. People hasn't stopped wanting to go on holidays. The need is still there. The want, the desire is still there. And we can all hope that in the near future that's going to be possible again. So we shouldn't write it off. This is a big reason. We see it, those channels, those YouTube channels, for example, that their main focus is travel guides, travel vlogs, anything to do with traveling. They are still thriving. They were thriving through lockdowns. People were subscribing to these channels, people were watching these channels, people were watching these videos, these vlogs, these travel guides. People were dreaming, obviously, of traveling to these places. People hasn't stopped being interested in these channels. So this is the second reason, traveling, tourism. The third reason might sound like a contradiction at first. People in this crisis turn to local providers. So you might think that, especially in this time of localization, learning a new language is not your priority. People turn to the global community for answers. Social media has never been so popular than during lockdown. And yes, it had many side effects. Some people got really fed up with it. The movement of moving away from social media and just being on the internet all the time has just gained momentum, even more so than before. It was there before, but it gained momentum. But at the same time, people still, at some level, turned to the global community because this whole thing is a global happening. It's a global thing, everything happening to everyone all at once. It wasn't just something that was happening in one country, to one nation, uh, to people in one city. So they turned to the internet. That behavior is going to stay with us for a longer period of time, that people are going to turn to the global community for help, much more so than before. So this was the third very good reason. The fourth one is that it's a very good mind training. It helps you with memory, with recalling your memories, with staying sharp, staying focused, especially for older people. Effects are not limited to older people. The effects can help everyone. I think the oldest person I heard that started to learn a new language was over 90. So it is a very good exercise for the brain. It's a little bit like doing crossword puzzles or doing any kind of games or mental activities. It can help you stay sharp, stay focused. It helps training your memory. It's the same as any other learning activity. When you study and you really study, you are becoming better. Sometimes it happens, with adults when their workplace doesn't really require them to acquire or learn any new skills. They lose that sharpness, they lose what they had when they were in school, in university, and then suddenly when they start to learn a new skill, learn a new language, they suddenly feel like it's much harder than it used to be to study, to stay focused, to to memorize. Okay, so that was the fourth one. Let's get to the fifth one. Learning a new language also helps you understand, or to better understand, or to get to know new cultures. Often, when people visit or in some other way get in contact with a new culture, they get so much in love with the people and the culture that they want to learn the language also. They say, oh my, these are so wonderful people, I want to learn the language. It happens a lot. When you learn a new language, you cannot not become interested, at least in some level, in the culture that speaks it as a mother tongue, as a first language. It's often said that speaking a language as a second language well is also a little bit like acting, like mimicking. You have to mimic the way these people speak, their way of thinking, to be able to fully give it back the way they speak. Of course, with some languages it's easier, with some languages it's a bit of a challenge. In a later episode, I'm going to address this issue also. And the final bonus reason is because it's simply fun. It can be very relaxing, it can be lots of fun. The question is not really whether you should invest anything into it or not. The question is why you should invest time, money, and energy into learning a language. And you really can't shortcut. You can't shortcut the time, you can't shortcut the energy, and you can't shortcut, unfortunately, the money that you are going to spend on it. That should not deter you. I'm going to address the money issue on a later episode. And the time issue also, I'm going to talk about this on a later episode. But for now, yes, if you want to learn a language well, then you need to invest time and energy and also money into it. Because though you might think that you can find everything on the internet, you have free apps, wonderful, no problem with them. I am going to talk about this subject on a later episode, why you should still invest money also and time also into learning a new language. That's it for now. Join the conversation by writing a comment, share your ideas, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. So until next time, keep learning and keep teaching. Bye for now.